I fell in love with writing at an early age, and I think it's because I was a reader at an early age. Once I learned that there were people who wrote the stories that I enjoyed, I wanted to do what they did. What only added to that passion, from an early age was shows like Reading Rainbow, where they would not only read the books to you and they would come alive, but they would show you how the books got made. It's one of those unexplainable things where very early on, I saw that there was a thing that people did, and I wanted to do that thing too. By the time I got to college, I was able to put words to the type of writing I wanted to do. Toni Morrison at one point said something like she wanted to write novels that changed the world. And I believe the same thing for me, although I don't know that my novels can change the entire world, but I think they can change someone's world and make someone's life a little bit better because they have seen themselves or because they have seen someone that they love in those stories. What keeps me writing is the knowledge that even now there are still people that are not having their stories told. When I wrote Lazarus, Covenant, and Epiphany, they were the story of a young man in college that pledges a fraternity and then starts a relationship with a varsity basketball player, dealing with hazing, dealing with issues of coming out in NCAA athletics. These are not stories that I saw being written, and if they were being written, they weren't being written from an African American perspective. Same thing with the Dark Nation series, writing spooky vampire, demigod related stuff from an African perspective. What keeps me going is that if nobody else is going to write it, then I've got to write it. I might be biased, but I think that my literary heroes are some of the greatest literary minds of our time. That will be Alice Walker, Sapphire, and Paul Beatty. Sapphire and Alice Walker, I think, have done amazing things with all of their work, whether it's The Color Purple, Meridian, Push, The Kid. They have just been mind-blowing pieces of fiction that really inspire me to write in a way that's accessible, that many people can understand and feel deep emotion from. Paul Beatty, on the other hand, is a brilliant writer of satire and social commentary on Black experiences globally. When I first read his novel, The White Boy Shuffle, in 1996 as a junior at Coolidge High School in Northwest DC, I just looked at every page and saw these complex, high level vocabulary words and just felt like I was immediately being drawn into a song, into a symphony. I saw these words on that page and said, I want to write like him when I grow up. And I never did because I found my own voice and my own way of telling the story, but I will always uplift Paul Beatty, and I look at his work and I just am just in awe of what humanity can create in our generation and how we're lucky enough to be alive in the same timeline as these wonderful, wonderful novelists.